Hello and welcome to Train Sim World 5. So this is obviously Train Sim World, and now we are going to get onto one of the newer routes, I should probably say. And yeah, this is Train Sim World 5, obviously just out, I believe, yesterday. So, here's, well, are the different trains. I'll show you all the trains, obviously, I've got firstly. And I'm probably going to start streaming Train Sim World frequently on this. These are the lines I've got. Peterborough to Doncaster, Antelope Valley line, which based in America, I believe, the Canyon Pass. The Great Western Express, obviously this, I think, was the first Train Sim World from, obviously, still compatible on this one, which I think a lot of players be good or pleased to know. East Coast, the East Coast main line, also the Frankfurt Fuda main line. Then you got the München, or the Munich, I think it's called, and Osberg. Sorry if I get some of these names wrong. Got the LGVs, based in France, of course. The Harlem line, based over in America. Then you got the London commuter line. I believe this one, not sure where it goes, but I think it could be just a line that travels around London, dare I say. However, you can see you do have, obviously, the Class 375, 77 and 87. I believe this is run by Gatwick Express. It is indeed Southeast and, of course, London or Southern. And you do have GWR. Of course, you do have DB as well, which isn't really a train operator here, I don't think, in the UK, mainly over in Germany. DB, I believe, is operational by a lot of train companies. DB very popular in Germany, of course. Then you've got obviously one of another Germany's lines, the DB Express. You've got Southern Eastern High Speed Rail, which I believe operates between King's Cross. I can't remember the other place, but yeah, certainly very nice to see King's Cross. And then obviously the new line, which today we are going to drive the Pendolino, running between London, Euston and Milton Keynes, or Milton Keynes and Euston. I think we're going to do Milton Keynes to Euston, only because that is a nicer route, ultimately speaking. Now, you can't do, unfortunately, Milton Keynes to Liverpool Lime Street, which is a shame. However, of course, can do the other way. So I think Milton Keynes is furthest you can go. But the thing is, ultimately, what you call it, I've just seen there, was it? I'm going to turn down quickly the music volume, just so you can hear me more. How do I do that? Probably settings and audio. So that music volume is way too high. There we go. Menu. Oh no, not master volume. I want master volume turned up. So there we go. So that is the then game sound effects. Is it? How do you turn down? Well, I've just turned down menu music. No. There we go, so that's off now. There we go, that's a lot better. And a lot quieter. No hate to the music developers of the game, but yeah, I'm not really a big fan. So we are going to do the, as I say, the Class 390. We're going to do it running between Milton Keynes and, of course, London Euston, which is a station I'm very familiar with. In fact, I'm familiar with quite a lot of stations, and yeah, I don't know whether we do free roam. Let's quickly have a look. Why can't I start? Choose a route. Right. Had it a minute ago. Right, there we go. Timetable. Just want to quickly look at the timetable, just so, you know, if I can. So what time does this go between, obviously, Manchester Piccadilly and Euston. So there's 8:54. So if I maybe load into the game 8:40 or 8:45, gives us 10 minutes to have a look around Milton Keynes, and then yeah, that gives you guys just have a look about Milton Keynes and have a little, I suppose, tour. Maybe we can. Oh, I've just gone in absolutely randomly there, haven't I? I hope there's a train anyway due, because I don't want it to be too long of a stream. If we can maybe keep it under, maybe around an hour, that'd be absolutely perfection. So yeah, this is Milton Keynes. Now, was obviously born here, and to be fair, ultimately it is pretty accurate. The level of detail is pretty accurate. I'm gonna actually load out only because I want. Yeah, I'm not waiting 49 minutes for a train. So we are gonna just. Yeah, 10 minutes is alright because it's only a half-hour journey. So 10 minutes would be absolutely perfect. I do have to go somewhere for obviously 8 o'clock. So just want to try and jump into the game exactly at, I think it was 10. So we'll do 10:40 and we'll do that. Relax. Just have a look around Milton Keynes properly, and I can show you around Milton Keynes. You know, the station. Obviously, there's not much to it ultimately, if you know what I mean. Overall, it's a pretty, I suppose, boring station. So here's, firstly, we'll start then with actually this. This is the class 360, dare I say, or 350. Sorry if it's a bit lagging there. Not sure if that will come across on your screens, but yeah, here is obviously platform 3. This is going to London Euston, literally going south. This is meant to be the LNR, sorry, this is, yeah, London North Western Railway, I believe, the LNWR. I don't believe it's got the official logos to it, as you can see. I feel like it's missing a few logos, but I believe on these trains you can do the guard mode. If you want to, if that's your thing, of course. For me, guard mode is a pretty nice feature they've added into this year's game, but it's not the be-all and end-all. I do like the fact they've got now my home route, I suppose, in the game. Yeah, as I say, we'll have a look around Milton Keynes, and like some of the detail to this station is really, really good actually, and I can clarify that for myself. Obviously, passengers do not, do not fall in between the platform. That is certainly not a feature I've seen at Milton Keynes. But this level of detail to the waiting room is absolutely staggering, because I've actually probably sat in this waiting room for a train. It's pretty cold in there. I can reassure you that. It's not the warmest of waiting rooms. There is a little heating system. I think it's either here or here, which doesn't appear to be in the game. There's like a heating vent, and that's all about it, just to keep the passengers warm. This is Milton Keynes' idea of then the lounge, I suppose. I don't believe there is a lounge at Milton Keynes for, let's say, first class passengers to wait. I could be wrong. Of course, this is where most of the time the high-speed rail to London will depart from. Platform 4. Usually platform 3 shouldn't be to Euston. Usually platform 3 is either just to Milton Keynes or to Nottingham or to Birmingham or wherever, onwards and upwards in that direction. So I'm not sure why it said Euston on the screen there. I have heard rumours that the timetables are a bit off, which is a bit of a shame really. So yeah, we can see our train is due in about 7 minutes or so. So yeah, waiting rooms, you know, for all of them actually look pretty good detail. This is obviously the high-speed trains. So on the left, basically platforms 4, 5 and 6 are all dedicated to Avanti Railway. Basically used to be Virgin. I'm not sure if there was a company before Virgin, or before Avanti I should say, but yeah, Avanti is now the company, so they'll be only operational on platforms 4, 5 and 6. 6, I believe, usually to Crewe or Liverpool, 5 is usually the Manchester trains, and then obviously 4 is all the way dedicated usually for London Euston. So that's usually how it works. And then with obviously on this line, well, this, as I say, Birmingham line, Birmingham New Street, Birmingham International, or Liverpool Lime Street trains really run all the way from here. I don't know if London North Western Railway does travel up to what you call it, Manchester or not. I don't think they do, dare I say. Obviously, other trains do. But yeah, here's then the lift. And it does work. I feel like that lift ride is probably a little bit slower in real life. Maybe that's an improvement they could make, certainly in the game. Now these little things are things you find, robots repaired, those things dotted all over. These are the windows, as you can see, to Milton Keynes, and again the detail is absolutely spot on really. To be fair, it's absolutely fantastic, the detailing of it. Overall, I don't know if those seats are here. Unfortunately, this is furthest we can go beyond platform 1, so not very far. It's a shame can't show you a bit more. Maybe if they did a bit more outside the stations, so you could actually maybe exit stations, would be awesome to see. But the roofing is pretty accurate, as in the level of the detail of the roof, again, it is pretty accurate. And again, the stairs pretty accurate. Bars are literally like this at Milton Keynes. Literally, the level of detail, as I say, on this platform is very, very good detail. Not sure what train we got there. Platform. Ah, that's the. Is that the 840? I hope that's not our train that we're meant to be boarding. I feel like it is. I feel like that's the 1049, so it might be the 1055 anyway we wait for. But yeah, this is obviously Milton Keynes. Obviously, there's the building. Again, very good detail there. I do respect that. Obviously, here's another train to Euston. I imagine, considering that's on the high-speed rail, that probably is a non-stop train to Euston. Whereas this train will call at multiple stations, probably Leighton Buzzard, Bletchley, and trains obviously further up the rail, as you can see, has obviously terminated. Come into platform, I believe this is 2A, whereas this side is platform 2. And trains do terminate in Milton Keynes, not just go to Milton Keynes or go through it. They do terminate here some, but very few. As you can see, they've only got the one terminus platform effectively here in Milton Keynes. I think Bletchley might have more terminus platforms than Milton Keynes. I could be wrong. There's another robot. I found that one earlier, or well, during yesterday's gameplay. So that definitely don't need to be fixed. But yeah, lifts, as I say, I do like the fact the lifts work, and you can call them. Here's platform 6. We'll take the lift down. Why not? I am usually a person that gets into the lifts. Again, this is a lift I probably have been in real life. I don't feel like it would be this quick in real life. How long does it take? Let's count. So it took about 5 seconds. Yeah, that's way over the top in terms of the timing it takes to obviously get then from the top there to the bottom. 5 seconds. And yeah, there's the vending machine, and again, I do think it is like that in real life. I'm pretty sure that vending machine is there. Pretty positive it is. Again, you just got some, obviously, notifications, building better railway. Again, shame they don't have the national, what do you call it, national rail logos on them posters. That is obviously a big letdown, or a bit of a letdown, I suppose. Again, little details like that. Certainly, I suppose a bigger train enthusiast will notice. Yeah. And then here is the CAF, and again, it is pretty good detail. I mean, CAFs are pretty much like this in Milton Keynes. Obviously, I don't think it's called liquid bean CAF. I think that's just due to licensing they've decided to call that, but It is, again, very good detail. I think, personally, for what this game is, don't forget that, it is a rail simulator. And I think this train might be ready to depart, I'm not sure. I think it's ready to depart, definitely in a minute's time, when obviously our train should be due in anyway. I'm going to actually let you watch this train exit Milton Keynes, and I'm going to obviously go on mute just for a little while so you can see this train depart Milton Keynes Central.
Smoking is not permitted in any part of this station or on trains. This includes e-cigarettes.
Yeah, the noise of that locomotive, really nice to listen to. And also what's nice is the Pendolino. Now, hopefully we've got time to get over to the Pendolino side, get up the platform, because I do feel trains come in slightly early than what the scheduling is, because that train was meant to be there at 10:49, so next train, as you can see, is 10:55. Now, I do hope this is Avanti, because obviously we want Avanti. We want to drive obviously the fast train up to London. Now, fast train probably going to come maybe down here to obviously what do you call it? Where we want to go, maybe a little bit further. I'm sure if it's down here. There is a freight train going by, which yeah. You up, well, I'm not sure where that one's going. You can see it is a freight train. And they do pass through Milton Keynes, of course. Freights, I think freights always pass through Milton Keynes, but yeah, this definitely looks like a Avanti, looks like a Pendolino. So that's the train we are gonna hop on board, and we are gonna take control and service for this afternoon. In our probably 30-minute trip to London Euston, which overall is pretty lovely train journey. And they do have the official branding for Avanti, which is pretty cool. So here is the Avanti branding and livery. This is, and yeah, you can see what the train looks like, as you can see from the front. Very nice. It does look aggressive, and I do like the aggressiveness of what this train looks like. Don't know whether we've got much time to explore. First we'll go into the cab and we will get obviously ready for departure. Hopefully it's all set up, because obviously has been in operation for us, so hopefully don't have to do too much setup. Neutral, so master key is already switched on, which is good. Just set that into forward, and I think really should be ready to go once the doors are shut, hopefully. Not sure if I've got to do anything more than that. DSR, I think that's put into normal. Vigilance system. Now, I have been having a little bit of trouble with some of this train. So there we go. I think we are all ready to go then. Pretty sure. Do have to acknowledge the AWS, I believe, on this train. So I think we can turn off the vigilance now. Pretty sure we can isolate that. Back to isolate, because sometimes that does get a bit noisy. So we've got 2 minutes. Pretty sure we've set it all correctly. Oh, this door needs to shut. Luckily, can't show it from the outside. Can't really show you much detail due to the inside, because we're going to be departing literally in a minute. So we'll obviously allow passengers. There's obviously first class, so you can see kind of what first class looks like. There is a kitchen on board, which for our customers, obviously us saying first class, would get therefore the benefits of that. And yeah, here is standard class. I think a bit further down you can see the difference. Then that's not standard. Still think that is it standard? Oh, it might be standard. So maybe actually first class is down this end. I'm thinking then. Yeah, it is. So here's first class. So this is what first class looks like. A bit more spacious. You can see leather backing, headrests there then, which I don't think we've got too many passengers sat in first class. And there's the kitchen, which you can see. So yeah, not really much. And yeah, another cool feature on this train is the step, which I'll show you hopefully at what you call it. Oh right, did I not set the reverser to the forward? There we go. So here we go then, and about to depart. Only gonna use second gear because it does take a while to get this train up to speed, and I'm gonna let you listen to the departure noise. So yeah, there we go then. So we have departed officially Milton Keynes, and we are now on our way to Euston. So in theory, this journey does take about about 30 minutes in real life, and looks like it takes about 30 minutes in the game. Should be due into London Euston platform 12 for roughly 11:28. So obviously not real 11:28, but 11:28 in the game. Yeah, you can just see it does look nice, this train. So we are going to approach Bletchley pretty quickly and fly through Bletchley, which is coming up very shortly. Bletchley Park, obviously famous for their World War II efforts to help win the war against Germany back in 1945 or whatever. Not too big of an enthusiast anyway. So yeah, here's Bletchley, and you can see that we're now passing Bletchley. There's a train that usually would be LNWR, will be to Euston in the sidings. And this is Bletchley then, obviously zooming past it at a very fast speed we are. So not stopping there. And we don't actually stop at many train stops, if any, just Euston. It looks like we've only got for this one. Sometimes these trains do stop at Watford Junction, but very infrequently. So I think there might be one every hour stopping at Watford in either direction. So yeah, I do prefer when they don't stop, certainly as a passenger at Euston, at Watford, because as a passenger, for me, it's a bit more of the inconvenience and added time to my journey. Which, okay, people do need to get out of Watford. However, as a person living in London, and also Zone 2, the other side of Zone 2, for me, it's obviously not great when they stop at Watford. Obviously, it only has on maybe 10 minutes at most, but yeah, you know, I prefer to have 10 minutes less anywhere, really. Sorry for the cough. Anyway, so we're on our way then to what do you call it, London Euston. And the thing about this train, it feels like it can do more, feels like it can do a lot more, but is restricted to that 125 mile per hour UK speed limit, which is a great shame. But I do wish they kind of put up the speed limit on UK rail, because this train in theory probably could do easily 130, 140 without it. And the worst thing about this train, actually, Pendolino, it restricts you from going above, I think, 10 miles per hour above the speed limit, or even less for a prolonged period of time. Because if you do go too fast, guess what? It'll put on the emergency brakes. And I don't really like that feature of the Pendolino, which, okay, it's a safety feature, I suppose, set into the, into the train, which is pretty cool. I'm sure in real life, it's a very big help to drivers. And it stops them from speeding at least, but I personally don't mind speed, wouldn't mind it. And here's another thing about this train, they call it the tilt train for a reason. This is, as you can see, one of the greatest features about this train is the tilt that it has. As you can see, look at that tilt. Yeah. Absolutely fantastic that tilt is. Going into a tunnel now. I'm going to go into the cab, so let's see what it's like in the cab. So this is from the inside view of the cab. Obviously, a lot of people are saying it don't look that fast in the cab. Personally, it does look a bit fast here. I think, I don't know, that's just my opinion. Anyway, we're going to whiz through Leighton Buzzard. I think you probably notice it more from a platform point of view. Like, let's see how quick that was. It takes 5 seconds just to go through a station. So yeah, it's not the fastest thing maybe you'd ever drive in the world in terms of, you know, speed. Well, the actual speed of a, a Eurostar, I think goes up to 255 kph. Obviously gets used from London to Paris within 2 hours it can, which is pretty insane. But yeah, this train is fast still, nonetheless. Gets you to Milton Keynes, a 60-mile journey, bear in mind, within or whatever it is, 44-mile journey actually, sorry, within at least half hour, which is still pretty impressive going for any sort of automobile or, you know, train in this case, or locomotive I think would it be called. Yeah, I think they're called locomotives in real life. Very, very fast though, this locomotive is. So I'm just going to ease it back down to 125. So we're back onto the speed limit. We're now doing 124 miles per hour. And yeah, this is obviously where I think some of the slow trains, if they want to move on faster tracks after Leighton Buzzard, they can do. So that's a switch over point, pretty sure. We do have a red signal ahead of us, but not on our side of the track, that's to the left. It is a beautiful train. This is probably one of the more flatter parts of the routes at the moment. 32 miles still to go. Yeah, really, really is nice. This train, I really do love it. And I know some people been criticising, you know, Dovatel games for certain bits and bobs about Train Sim World 5, which is, I suppose, fair enough and valid criticism, not gonna lie, but you gotta remember, Train Sims on PlayStation or on, you know, what you call it, this sort of platform, is really hard to make. And I think the level of detail they've done is a great job. You know, I've seen some criticism videos to, obviously, Dovatel. I'm not really a big train SimWorld enthusiast. You know, obviously, got the deluxe edition, I think, for 44 quid or whatever it was. Had a bit of discount through, obviously, some points had on my PS anyway, which certainly helped and made it a little bit more affordable. The game, otherwise it would have cost £53, which, okay, is a lot of money, and if you go for the special edition, which you don't need, you definitely don't need the special edition, that's a lot of money. It costs, I think, £100, which I think, you know, okay, the £100 version, I would be very critical of the game. If you buy the deluxe, not deluxe edition, the special edition, I think, you know, the money is somewhat on the high side, but not quite that bad. There's that freight train I think we were speaking about back in Milton Keynes. We're just passing that now. But yeah, talking about price point for this and the deluxe edition, I think it is a bit on the pricey side, maybe. Maybe it is, you know, well, £53 or £59 now, yeah, I think it would be, if you were to buy the deluxe edition today. I'm not entirely sure. But overall, like, it is, as I say, a little bit on the high side. So I do get why maybe some people are criticising. However, if you're buying the standard edition, you know, I think $39.99, I think that's reasonable if I'm being totally honest. You're getting, you know, a good line, a great line upgrade. You are also getting the, what do you call it? I think you can now do guard mode on all routes near enough, or most routes, which I think is a cool new feature into the game. Certainly didn't have that in Train Sim World 1. Also, I believe some of the lines are interactive, so interconnective sort of thing. As in, you'll see on this line, somewhere eventually, I think you'll see the Overground, the London Overground, which I believe you can drive between Euston and Watford, and also I believe you'll also see the, what you call it, the Underground between, I think it's Harrow and Queen's Park. You can drive that one between. So yeah, there are obviously additional lines which you can drive on this route that are inner London, or, you know, sort of in inner London sort of region, which I suppose does make it not just a complete West Coast main line. And I know the West Coast main line is only going down to Milton Keynes. If you do the fast route, only taking you a half hour at max, you know. But if you do the obviously more scenic route, takes you potentially 45 minutes, hour, maybe even an hour and 12, which if you're stopping at all the stations, of course, between there and London Euston. So there are obviously that to it, and I think the scenic route is really nice to do because you get to, I guess, take in a bit more of this, all the surroundings are, I suppose, a little bit more. I feel when you're in this cab, you can't quite appreciate the surroundings. It does feel very closed in. Can we open this? Let's have a look. Okay, we can, but personally I don't like that. Don't like the way the window opens in. I wish it was more of a sliding window. I think that would be better overall. So we're just gonna get back up to 125. So we are 22 miles away from our destination, London Euston. Coming in apparently platform 12. So that's going to be the platform we are going to end up finishing on. But yeah, as I say, with the price points of this game, you know, I think it is a decent game. There obviously is another route, I believe, in the game, which is new as well. Haven't really played much with it yet. I believe it's between, well, somewhere in Los Angeles in America, the new other route, which is pretty exciting. I think this is the main route most of us British train enthusiasts definitely be going for. Not sure if the Americans quite know this route as well as a lot of the British or Europeans would, if you know where I'm coming from. But if they do, fair enough. But yeah, you can see it is a very, very nice, I think, route to take on ultimately, and to drive down to London Euston. I'm speeding just a little bit there. We're going to ease it down. There's obviously one of the slow lines, as you can see, stopped at, I think, not sure where this is. I feel like that's Tring, maybe. Is that Tring? Where is that? Apsley. So I think the next stop is maybe Watford Junction or Kingsley. It's one of the two. Getting obviously quite close to what you call it, London Euston now. Ultimately, we are not too far. And this actual route at night is, I wouldn't say necessarily better. Certainly when you're coming from Milton Keynes to Euston, or you know when you're on the Euston to Watford part, it does look really good at night, especially in real life. Not quite so much in the game. I have noticed in the game when I did it yesterday at night time, the Wembley Arch wasn't lit up. Usually that's lit up all the time at night time, so it weren't really visible in the game from the train nor from the off-board camera. However, in the daytime, it does look very, very good detail. There's another slow line train, going up ramp. The other one might be going down actually, towards Milton Keynes. Yeah, because usually left foot, right foot down, so that would make sense, or right foot up actually, left foot down. But technically we're heading southbound, actually. So yeah, down with the south, wouldn't it, I suppose. Oh. And this is what I mean. This is the annoying thing. I didn't even notice there was a speed change. And it's going to break me all the way down to 0. Which is really, really annoying. Like, that's the one thing I don't like. I wish now I could just go into the control. We're probably going to be stuck in the tunnel, or stopped in the tunnel, which is even extra annoying because you're in the dark. Just see, not really much like that in the dark, so yeah. Just wish like now it's down to a safe speed. Just let me go. Just let me get on with the rest of the journey. But that's what I mean. I didn't even realise there was a speed change. Okay, it's my fault. I get it. You know, pull the real train enthusiast look like absolute. I don't know really the word. Anyway, we've got to think press AWS reset. Have we? What we got to do? And worst thing is, oh, I've just opened the door. The worst thing is, I cannot even see. Right, just gonna do that. I'm gonna turn off the AWS. Feel like that might be the best option. How do I get that annoying alarm off? I have no idea. I cannot even see the what you call it, and yeah, I'm a little bit stranded now, in a bloody tunnel. Yeah, that's the annoying thing about this route is the what you call it, and I can't even see where cab lights are or anything. So just gonna have to second guess. Like that. How do I turn off that stupid alarm? Right. That's the emergency brake. Which, okay. AWS reset, press that. DRA set, maybe? Let's hold that for a little bit. No, let's... AWS. Is there a way to power off? I wonder. Catering, Cabolite fuse. Right, there's Cabolite. At least we can see in here. There we go. That certainly helps. Right, let's go then off. There we go. On. And I feel like should be able to get on with the rest of the journey. Can we? Yes, there we go. So, should be able to complete this journey. Even though we do have 15 miles to go and not a lot of time to do it in. Do want to kind of complete this journey ultimately. For the end of the stream, but if we can't, hopefully we can get to Wembley. If we can get to Wembley, I am going to sign off there. Wembley isn't necessarily too far, but yeah, that's the annoying thing about, as I say, this train is, as you can see, I didn't even realise there was a speed change, and it just basically, well, basically it ruined me. And yeah, that probably added on, I don't know how much of a delay to our journey, at least 4 minutes maybe, 3 minutes. Again, probably wouldn't happen in real life because, what you call it, they are professional drivers, I suppose, in real life, so I wouldn't expect them to make the same silly mistakes that I do in the game, and they probably don't ever. But yeah, that's the Watford Tunnel, what you call it, that's the Watford Tunnel, I suppose, that goes under a bit of a mountain, or whatever, bit of a hill, quite a steep hill, and also the slower line trains usually, well, rail off to the other side and meet on the other side, basically, sort of, separate off like a junction, I suppose, just for a little while. Only very, very short. Obviously, on a high-speed train, does take usually a lot less time than that to go through that. It would probably take, I don't know, a lot less. Usually, maybe 30 seconds or less, and maybe 10 seconds ultimately. On the lower speed trains, depending which one you're on. If you're on the high-speed rail, again, probably 10, 20 seconds, but on the low-speed rail might take a little bit longer than that. There's the overground Watford and Euston, which I think is a pretty cool route. I'm going to have to do that certainly one day. Here's Watford, and that is actually a real-life shopping mall. I believe that's, I think it's the, what you call it, same one they got in Milton Keynes, same company, I'm not sure what it's called, but same company that runs it, same private organisation. Yeah, this is the outskirts of London then, basically Watford. Basically, well, is Watford London? Bit of a debate over that. I mean, it's very much outer skirts. There's another, what do you call it, overground stop. Yeah, as I say, it's very much outer skirts, that part of London, if you can call it London, because some people would actually criticise me for saying Watford, that's the start of London. Like, some people would genuinely say, no, it's not. You know, London starts a lot further in. Obviously, you know, I do live in London myself. I personally, full semi-classify it as London. But, you know, maybe, well, Wembley, maybe you could say is the start of London, maybe, I don't know. Where does the start of London start? That's the question, I suppose. Because this is overground, I believe. I don't believe this is the underground yet. So yeah, back up to, as I say, 125, then that. And it was only momentarily that went down to, I think, 115. And you just see how it just automatically slowed me down, powered me off for a very, very brief moment. Yeah, going to be now on the... I think this is where the underground starts, just here. Oh no, that's... So I think it's the next stop, actually. Am I right? Is next stop Harrow Wilston? If it is, that'll be the start of the Bakerloo line underground. Let's have a look. I think this is Harrow and Woolston, maybe? Or is it not? Let's see, where's that? No, not quite Harrow and Woolston. So we've got maybe at least another stop to go. Harrow and Woolston will have at least two, what you call it, platforms. One for national and one for normal. So maybe this would be Harrow and Woolston here. Feel like this is Harrow and Woolston. So yeah, here's Harrow and Woolston then, definitely, because there's the London Underground train. You can see, and this is what I mean about this route. You can do other journeys, which this would obviously take you past Wembley Central, all the way up to Queen's Park, which is quite near Euston, not too far from Euston ultimately. Obviously still a bit of a journey down from Queen's Park down to London Euston. Haven't quite gone past Wembley Central yet. I think Wembley is 2 or 3 stops time down the train line ultimately. There is, I believe, a London Overground train. Well, that's a zoom pass here on the right. Again, that, as I say, you can drive from obviously Watford down to London Euston ultimately, which is a good journey to do. Which I think I'm going to have to do, and you can obviously do it the other way around as well. Don't have to do it Euston to and the actual overground lines are pretty good to drive, as in the trains. You know, they're actually very fun little trains to drive, but obviously they haven't got a built-in overground purpose one. I believe goes Wilson Junction, maybe. And yeah, there's that Wembley Arch I was talking about. As I say, in the daytime it looks absolutely gorgeous in the game. It does look really, really good. When we get a clearer view, which we will in a sec. So yeah, we will get that clearer view just in a sec. But we're coming past Wembley Central now. And Wembley Central is a really nice looking station. It has been for quite some time. So there's Wembley Central, as you can see. So here is then, what do you call it? And this is actually Royal Mail, I believe, one of Royal Mail terminus. So yeah, should be able to see the, what you call it. Maybe if I go from a bit of a lower angle, might be able to see it. Oh, there we go. There's the Wembley Arch, and yeah, you can see. I think they've done that a pretty well model. You can actually see the whole football stadium very, very well. Looks very, very good from here. Again, it's a bit of a shame it doesn't quite look good at night time in the train, and yeah, we've now once again over speed been distracted. But yeah, I'm going to end the stream there then. Anyway, for today, hope you've enjoyed then Train Sim World 2 and enjoy then this train.